Welcome back to Vintage HLC Show and Tell. Today we're looking at pieces made by Homer Laughlin but decorated by outside companies. Some of these were just small mom and pop operations, others were larger firms. And they come from the 1940s and 1950s. We don't see too many decorated wares from the 1960s or afterwards. So we'll begin by looking at these pieces in the back that were decorated by the Wheeling Decorating Company of Wheeling, West Virginia. There's Nautilus Eggshell, Sugar and Creamer, and then the Georgian tea set, the Georgian Eggshell Teapot, the Sugar Bowl, and the Creamer. And what they would do is they'd take the Homer Laughlin marking and blot it out, and they'd put their diamond marking over top. So that says Wheeling Decorating Company, West Virginia. And then it has the pattern number 2627. This is called Doves, Roses, and Daisies. And they put this on not only pieces by Homer Laughlin, but Hall China, Taylor Smith & Taylor, Edwin M. Knowles, and many other pottery companies. So we'll get a look at the detail in this pattern. So you should be able to see the doves and the daisies and the roses all throughout. Another major firm was Atlas China, which was based out of New York. We have a Georgian eggshell covered casserole with gold stamps and gold trim. And we see the Homer Laughlin marking from 1947, Georgian eggshell, and Atlas China's overglazed stamp, 22 karat gold. This cake plate is also decorated by Atlas China. It's kitchen craft cake plate. The lifter is by Harker Pottery, so they bring these two pieces together. And it has the kitchen craft marking under the glaze, and then the Atlas China New York overglazed stamp. I had mentioned in the Virginia Rose video how this complicates things if you're collecting Homer Laughlin shapes and patterns and you're trying to get as many examples as you can, that when you start allowing for these decorators, the number starts to increase greatly. So it's just a matter of personal preference. My personal preference is, my personal opinion is, I'm not a huge fan of these. There's just a lot of gold going on, a lot of nondescript decals. Some of them are rather gaudy, like this butter dish, and just overdone. So if I'm going to buy these, then they have to be pretty much rock bottom prices. I would rather spend my money on a piece of Homer Laughlin that was not only made at Homer Laughlin, but decorated at Homer Laughlin as well. But there's quite a few of these out there. What I'm showing you is just a small sampling. Here's another kitchen craft cake plate. This isn't marked kitchen craft, but we can tell it is with those rings in the back. It has that distinctive look. This is Eastern China, another firm from New York. I believe that's an orchid. I also think that decal was used by Payton City. But another common Eastern China treatment, the rooster and hen. This treatment was used by Steubenville Pottery, but Eastern China put it on a lot of different wares, particularly Homer Laughlin. We see the Homer Laughlin Virginia Rose back stamp from 1949, and then, let me turn it around, Heat Proof, Eastern China Company, New York City. So you'll see this treatment on a lot of different Homer Laughlin products, but not decorated by Homer Laughlin, of course. This is Republic dinner plate with colonial couple decal. Lots of gold stamping going on and gold trim. And this second mark is Vogue dinnerware. Not to be confused with Vogue Mercantile, which is a totally different subject. This one is Pacific China. They decorated a lot of Virginia Rose and Marigold, and here we have a Marigold square plate. This particular treatment, this Petit-Point Dutch couple, was used by Salem China. Modern Farmer platter. You probably see the ribbed embossing going on there. Gold stamps, floral decal. This one's going to be marked Royal China. This is not the same Royal China company from Sebring, Ohio. You'll also find LB Royal China marks. Let's see if I can find one. I'm sure we'll encounter one here in a moment. Georgian Eggshell Demi-Tasse Cup and Saucer, gold stamps and gold trim. Here we go. So there's your LB Royal China, 22 karat gold, and the Georgian eggshell underglaze stamp. Pair of Brittany plates. This is rather interesting what they did with these, because this is what it looks like in its normal state, made by Homer Laughlin with these little deco-like silkscreen prints in blue. It was also made in red and green, and then it has the this wheat gold stamp. So that's your Brittany sugar and creamer. And here are some 7-inch plates that they added on all this gold trim and gold stamps in the center decal. Again, Royal China. Some pieces decorated by Pearl China, which was out of East Liverpool, Ohio. Virginia Rose Gravy Fast Stand. We see Homer Laughlin's mark, and then the Pearl China mark. If it's a Homer Laughlin piece that's marked Pearl China, that doesn't necessarily mean that Pearl China decorated it. Homer Laughlin made several different things for Pearl China over the years. And then this is Charm House. I think we've seen this before in the Charm House video. Of that gold interior. That was done by Pearl China. Lakot China. They were based out of New York as well. They've covered up the oven served marking and put their little Lakot China Zapun, Z-A-P-U-N. And this is an oven served bean pot that has been given this floral decoration and gold trim and gold stamps. This decoration was used mostly on Hall China East style dinnerware as well as W.S. George dinnerware. Here it is on oven serve. Fiesta Old Ivory, 7-inch plate, Colonial Couple, Cherry Gold Stamp, Royal China. Swing Eggshell. We see this pastoral scene, lots of gold stamps. Again, Royal China. And our marking for Homer Laughlin comes from 1945. This piece comes from the 1960s. So it's a small Carolyn plate from restaurant ware. The jet spray would have been applied at Homer Laughlin, but these bluebirds were done by Cast China, which was in East Liverpool. We see the Cast China marking, and what they've done is they've blotted out the Homer Laughlin name, not the logo, which is interesting. Another marigold square plate, sort of an Indian tree decal with the fans done in gold. We see the Royal China marking on it. A Century square plate in vellum, sort of a hearthside scene, and the gold lace. A lot of decorating companies use this lace pattern. Even potteries did as well. I think Homer Laughlin used it. I know Taylor Smith and Taylor used it. This has that L&B Royal China marking. And this comes from 1945. Nautilus Salad Nappy. This was made in the Fiesta style. When they made the Nautilus and the Georgian eggshell salad nappies, there's a note in Reed's Journal that says make as Fiesta. So it has that Fiesta look to it with the straight sides. Again, we see that lace gold stamp. Rather common decal treatment used by many potteries. And this one's Atlas China. And they've marked it directly over the Homer Laughlin back stamp. Century Platter, Colonial Couple decal. If you find a Colonial Couple decal on a piece of Homer Laughlin, almost guaranteed that it's made by somebody else. Homer Laughlin really did not use that treatment, but you will find this on so many pieces of Homer Laughlin. Of course, we see all this heavy gold and the gold stamps, and this is Atlas China. Harlequin Shakers. If you look in the holes, those are spruce green. But they've been given this gold overlay, this pattern. Jade Butter Dish, we've seen this before. This is one that is not marked with another company's name, but it does say warranted 22 karat gold. And even though it's not marked with somebody else's name, we can pretty much guarantee Homer Laughlin did not do this. This is just not their style. So you should be able to recognize an outside decorator almost instantly with some of these pieces. This is a little bit different. It's Riviera, so it's in Harlequin yellow, and we see again our colonial couple decals, heavy gold border, gold stamps. We've got a 6-inch plate and a 9-inch plate, and it's marked Atlas China. Of course, we saw the casserole already, and a theme eggshell nappy, lots of gold stamp, some floral decals, again Atlas China. And 2 final pieces. I think these are actually kind of fun. I may have a low opinion of the rest of this stuff, but this is interesting in that we have Cavalier eggshell plates with these cowboy treatments on them that you would normally find on Rhythm, sometimes Nautilus Ivory. But this, an outside company did this. It's a Centennial Novelty Company, and it comes from 1954. So here we see Homer Laughlin pieces being decorated by somebody who used decals that Homer Laughlin also used. Although it is a little strange to see this with this fleur-de-lis gold stamp. But these are kind of fun. When you can find a treatment that Homer Laughlin actually used and somebody else is using it in a different way to have an odd shape treatment combination, those are somewhat nice. So that's a little bit about outside decorators. We'll probably look at this subject more in the future because I've got other pieces. Again, not my favorite aspect of collecting, but it is out there and it can be had for pretty good prices.